Welcome! Today, we're learning how to play Lost Cities. It's a fantastic two-player card game all about taking risks and, hopefully, getting some big rewards as you lead expeditions to mysterious corners of the world. And don't worry, we're going to get you up and running fast. You'll learn everything you need to know to play your very first game right now. So let's dive in. Okay, first up, your objective. So what are you trying to do? It's pretty straightforward, really. You just want to score the most points, and you do that by creating these really valuable expedition routes with your cards. So it's not just a one-and-done game. A full match is actually played over 3 separate rounds, or games. You'll add up your points from each one, and whoever has the highest total score after all 3, well, that's your winner. All right, next up is the game setup. Let's get everything ready to play. Don't worry, this part is super quick and easy. Okay, here we go. First, just pop the game board right there between the two of you. Next, take all 60 cards, give them a really good shuffle, and put them face down. That's your draw pile. And finally, deal out 8 cards to each player. And that's it. You are all set for your first round. So, how to play. The oldest player gets to go first, and then you just take turns back and forth. Now, on your turn, you're always going to do 2 things. It's simple, but you have to do it every time, and in this exact order. First, you play 1 card. Second, you draw 1 card. That's your whole turn. So let's take a closer look at what those choices actually mean. Okay, action number 1, play a card. You've got 2 options here. Option A is to start an expedition, or, add to one you've already started. You do this by playing a card into one of the 5 color columns on your side of the board. Or there's option B. You can just discard a card you don't want onto its matching color space right in the middle of the board. Now, this is probably the most important rule in the whole game, so listen up. When you're adding cards to your expeditions, they have to be played in ascending order. That means each new card has to be a higher number than the last one. So for example, if you've already played a blue 5, the next blue card you play has to be a 6 or a 7 or anything higher. You can never play a lower number on top of a higher one. Got it? Good. Okay, but what about these cards without numbers? Those are wager cards, and they are awesome. Think of them like score multipliers. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. You can only play a wager card at the very beginning of an expedition, before you've played any number cards. You can even stack them up, play 2 or 3 to start an expedition, for a massive multiplier. All right, so you've played a card. Now for action 2, draw a card. And again, you've got 2 choices. You can do the simple thing and just take the top card from the face-down draw pile. Or, and this is where it gets interesting, you can take the top card from any of the 5 face-up discard piles. Yup, that means you can grab a card your opponent just got rid of. There is one little rule you gotta remember, though. Let's say you discard a card. You cannot, on the same turn, immediately pick that same card right back up. Makes sense, right? You'll have to grab a card from the deck or from a different discard pile instead. Okay, let's talk about scoring and winning. This is the fun part, right? It's where you find out if all those expeditions you started actually paid off, or if they're going to cost you big time. So how does a round end? Well, you just keep playing back and forth until someone draws the very last card from that draw pile. The moment that card is picked up, bam, the round stops right there. No more turns, it's time to add up the points. Now, before we get to the math, you need to understand this one critical thing. Every single expedition you decide to start automatically costs you 20 points. It's like an investment fee. The second you play your first card in any color, you're in the hole for 20 points. Your whole goal for that expedition is to play enough cards to get past that 20-point cost and into profit. Okay, here's how you score each of your expeditions one by one. It's a 4-step process. First, just add up the numbers on all the cards in that color. Easy. Second, you subtract that 20-point investment cost we just talked about. Third, you multiply that total by any wager cards you played, so you might double, triple, or even quadruple your score. And finally, there's a nice bonus. If you played 8 or more cards in one color, you get an extra 20 points. Let's walk through an example so you can see how this works. Look at the yellow expedition here. The cards add up to 23. Subtract the 20 cost, and you've made a small 3-point profit. Not bad. Now, ouch, look at the white one. They played a wager card, so that's a ×2 multiplier, but then played 0 number cards. So that's -20 × 2, a painful -40. But then look at this beautiful blue expedition. It made 35 points, got a triple multiplier, and got the 8-card bonus for a whopping 65 points. And just to be super clear, what about the colors you didn't play? Well, if you never played a single card for, say, the green expedition, then it just doesn't count. It scores a simple 0, you don't lose anything, but you don't gain anything either. All right, before we wrap this up, I've got one quick tip for you. This is really key for your first game, and it'll help you sidestep a really common mistake. The key to this game is to always remember that negative 20-point cost. The whole game is about judging your hand and asking, is it worth starting this expedition? If you've got a single red card in your hand, but no others, it is almost always smarter to just discard it instead of starting an expedition that's doomed to lose you points. And that's really it. You know everything you need to play Lost Cities. Just remember, on your turn, you play a card, then you draw a card. Try to build up those big, high-scoring expeditions, and after 3 rounds, see who comes out on top. So, are you ready to explore the Lost Cities?